All of these animals are not meant to survive on a diet of corn. There's absolutely nothing beneficial about feeding corn to animals, except that it fattens them up more and faster, which is a clear advantage for the business model, but a disadvantage to everyone from the animals to the people who eat them. Feeding animals corn breeds acid-resistant E. coli, causes bloat, which can lead to suffocation unless a hose is stuck down an animal's throat, liver failure, and certain death if these animals were to be fed the same diet of corn beyond their slaughter date. We are what we eat, and the majority of meat is consumed is coming from sick animals. So it really should come as no surprise that we are facing 48 million foodborne illnesses, 128,000 hospitalizations, and 3,000 deaths a year. When we take a closer look at CAFOs, we see that this is not only an issue of diet, but this is an issue of widespread animal abuse. Animal abuse at a rate of roughly 10 billion animals a year. The simplest evidence of this is the Animal Welfare Act, which was passed in 1966, the only law protecting animals in the United States. Conveniently for agribusiness, all animals raised for consumption are excluded from this act, including pigs, cows, chickens, rabbits, and even horses. And here I was, under the impression that cows, pigs, horses, and all these animals were animals too. The subject of animal abuse is another presentation itself, so I can't give it the attention it deserves, but I'd be happy to talk about it more later if any of you have questions. However, these videos provide a small glimpse into the terrible life of animals living on factory farms. And this is a warning. This does contain kind of graphic material. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry about that.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very bad. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And I feel the way that every child feels. Sit down and listen, sit down and listen. Going to school is very nervous. No one with me.
I just want to say that I wish I didn't have to show these videos, but we can't continue to turn a blind eye to what is really going on behind the plastic wrapped chicken cutlets and packages of ground beef. I could just talk about the animal abuse that goes on, but I can never actually do justice to what actually happens. And I do have one more video to show you.
An investigation by the Humane Society of the United States uncovers abuse of down dairy cows, cows too sick or too injured to stand, at a California slaughterhouse. What's more, the meat is being served to children through the National School Lunch Program.
These animals are so terribly abused. You know, they're dragged or pushed with a bulldozer or forklift. That's just inhumane handling. It's gross mistreatment. It violates the law. And these animals are going into the school lunch program. They're going onto the plates of children.
The Hallmark Slaughterhouse supplies the Westland Meat Company, which processes the meat from the cows. Westland is a top supplier of ground beef to the school lunch program, and it proudly displays its award as the Supplier of the Year during 2004 and 5. 27 million pounds of meat from Westland were shipped to California, Texas, and 34 other states last year. Taxpayers footed nearly $40 million in contracts for Westland to provide meat to needy families and the elderly, as well as to school children.
You can see all this manure encrusting along the hide.
Public health expert Dr. Michael Greger points out the hazards of slaughtering down cattle.
At slaughter, when they're cutting through this hide, can introduce these fecal pathogens, Salmonella E. coli, into the meat, kind of playing, Russian roulette. When even one of these animals gets in the food supply, it can get to the meat of a number of hamburgers.
The USDA says down cows are unfit for people to eat. The workers at the slaughterhouse will do anything to get these animals into the food supply.
The meat industry tries to squeeze as many profits out of these animals as possible. Even animals too sick or injured to walk are animals they want to turn a profit on.
By allowing downed cattle into the food supply, we're increasing the risk of human exposure to mad cow disease, Salmonella, E. coli, and other food poisoning bacteria.
This investigation has brought a terrible problem to light. Illegal conduct at slaughterhouses, downer livestock being abused. It's just irresponsible and reckless. And the USDA will allow this process to occur.
So, animal abuse isn't the only kind of abuse occurring on factory farms.